I'm going to be talking about compensation, and it's a little bit more in depth than some of the previous seminars for those who've been before. My introduction to Atomy was pretty simple, really. I ran out of moisturiser, was out of cleanser, and really I hate using those supermarket brands, though I have to confess sometimes I have. But at the time I ran out of my moisturiser, I didn't have a lot of money, and I happened to try Atomy, and I was sold. Joining was a no-brainer. But when I joined, I never actually imagined that sometime in the future I'd be standing here on a stage talking to you about how to turn this all into a business, and as Robin had said earlier, changing your life. So we're going to talk about some aspects of compensation today, and if you've got questions at the end, because I'm going to move through things fairly quickly, then please come and have a chat with me, or Esther is here, or the sponsor who brought you along this afternoon. So we're going to learn this afternoon about the reasons behind our compensation plan, some of the concrete ideas and factors which actually are going to contribute to our overall success. So let's look at why our system works. And the best thing is that this system is designed for ordinary people like you and me to succeed. Now, we all have goals, dreams, whatever you like to call them, whether that's about spending more time with your family, maybe finding someone to make a family with, owning property, travelling across the world, or maybe creating something that you're really passionate about. But something always gets in the way, doesn't it? Finances and time, but let's focus on finances just for a moment. How are we going to solve that, do you think? Do you think $50,000 a month would solve the income issue for you? Yes? I think it would. Is that a small amount of income? Do you know the average Australian household, and I know you've seen some figures earlier today, the average Australian household earns around $84,800 per year. With Atomy, you could be making that in 1.5 months. But in order to get anywhere, we need to actually know where we are. If you're going to go to Fremantle this afternoon, you'd need to know where you were starting from if you're going to use a map, yes? So on a scale of 0 to 5, where 0 is fully active income and 5 is fully passive income, so if 0 was down here and 5 was over here, where do you think most of us are right now? Most of us are down here at 0, aren't we? A majority of our day goes into making an income. Now, the reason why we need to know this, where we are, is because we need to understand why we need to move from active to passive income. If you don't go to work tomorrow and the next day and the next day, what's going to happen? Anyone see that show years ago, The Apprentice, with Donald Trump? Do you remember that? What did he say? You're fired. I'm sure he says a lot of other things now too. Ladies, what happens if you unexpectedly fall pregnant but your workplace can't support maternity leave? What if you're a sole business owner? Can you just leave your business to run itself? No. What about if you suddenly became redundant? And I'm going to pause here just for a moment, because that happened to me. We think we know what's around the corner, but we don't. I should have seen the signs, I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. I woke up one morning, I went to work as usual, went to a meeting with my boss, 8:30, thought it was my usual regular weekly meeting. You know how long I was in his office? About 3 minutes. And then I went down and I got my handbag and my coat and I went home. As you get older, no matter how much experience you have, it's harder to get a job. And when you're a young person, they tell you don't have enough experience. And I've been up here for a short while and now I can hear music. Is that my sign to leave the stage? So I think you get what I'm saying. What if a loved one fell sick and you had to stay home and look after them? We like to think it'll never happen to me. How can we survive if we have no income? So that's why we all need to think about how can we switch from an active income lifestyle to a more passive income lifestyle. It's going to give us peace of mind, and it's also going to help us achieve our dreams. So if we're going to start a business, we firstly need to know, well, actually, what is a business? So a business is a system where goods or services are exchanged, and you can read that up there. Every business requires some form of investment and enough customers to whom its output can be sold on a consistent basis in order to make a profit. So basically we need consistent sales and we need a positive profit, yeah? We don't just want a business. What makes a successful business? Let's say we're going grocery shopping like we do every week, or if you live in my house, it seems to be every day, and we need some milk. Okay, we've got nice milk. That's our usual choice. There's also lush milk, but, you know, lush milk's a little bit expensive, so you don't get that one. We've also got sour milk. You don't go near sour milk. But as you go in to get nice milk today, there's a red tag. Now, we all know what red tags mean. What does red tags mean? Sale, yes. So lush milk is having a sale, 50% off. Now you make a decision. You're going to decide to buy lush milk today. It's a valued and calculated choice that you're making. Usually it's too expensive for just milk, but because it's on sale, you think, well, I'm going to take the opportunity. We've all done that before, haven't we? Got the one that we don't normally get. So what you've done is make a value decision, where based on new information, such as a sale, you decide to change what you normally would purchase. Lush milk is normally more expensive, but this time it's better quality, but the same price as the usual milk. Now, in that scenario, most of us would get lush milk, wouldn't we? Okay, but what happens if the product is no longer on sale next time you go back to the supermarket? What happens? You're going to go back to the usual old nice milk, yeah? But that's the way that people look for value when they make purchasing decisions. The drive towards changing our consumer habits and how we purchase is value. And value is basically just a ratio of quality to price. So let's take a bit of a look at that. If quality is 1 and price is 1, then value is 1. But if quality is 1 and price is 100, then value is only 0.01. That doesn't seem very good, does it? So in that case, we'd stick with our original. But if the quality is 100, but the price is only 1, then the value is 100. If the quality is high, but the price tag follows, it's not great value, is it? But what you can see up there is great value, an item of absolute quality at its lowest absolute price. And this is essentially what Chairman Park has made, absolute quality and absolute price, so that every time you go online to our store, our online website, it's like the product is always on sale, but actually we never have sales. It's at that low price every time you go and purchase it. So always being able to provide better value compared to all other sources, essentially that's how you run a successful business. But why does this matter? Well, it matters because it's an integral part of our compensation plan. This is why our compensation plan works and can work for you. When we do business, what's the first thing that people try and do? Sell. They try and sell. But selling's hard, isn't it? I've never had a sales job before, never done network marketing. If I had to sell in Atomy, I wouldn't be doing it. Selling is hard because you need to make people feel like they need something you sell or provide. When you see successful businessmen or women, people like Steve Jobs, Jack Ma, Jeff Bezos, they all have special skills, don't they? They're persuasive. Certainly they have big visions. They've got technical skills, and they also have a network. And some of these guys started 20 years ago. Well, we can't travel back in time and have that kind of success when maybe it was easier to start. But what we can do is Atomy. We don't need special skills. We don't need to be persuasive. We don't need to have special technical knowledge or be able to present, because the products sell themselves. You've already heard it this afternoon from the other presenters. And the fact that the products sell themselves means that ordinary people like you and me can be successful with this business. What do we have to do? We have to share the product. We have to get people to try it. And really, that's not hard. I could stand here and talk about product for the next hour and tell you all about the science and how technical it is, and there's probably lots of ingredients that I can't even pronounce. But if you try it and you don't like it, then you're not going to buy the product, are you? In other networks, we have to stand here and persuade you to buy the product, even if you don't like the product, because usually it's higher in price than what you're used to. But in Atomy, all you have to do is try it. Just use it a few times to get the effect. You heard from Ju this afternoon. She tried the Absolute Lutein. 5 days she's seen benefit. And actually, I'm going to give that a try now, just from listening to her talk about it. And we shouldn't get hurt by encouraging someone to try a product, because what we're doing is really giving that individual value. As we spoke about before, we're running around in Atomy with products that are a value of 100 and sharing that with people who start with products that have a value of 1. So we're actually doing them a favour. So today we're going into a bit more detail than previous compensation plans, and I'm not going to be talking about mastership or incentive programs. If you want to know more about that, you can ask after the seminar any of the leaders, or come along next month to the next seminar. So we're going to talk about 3 unique points about our system. First one is binary system. So when you find someone who wants to change their consumer habits, who wants to discover the absolute quality of Atomy products, they're going to go on your downline, on the left or the right, so number 2 or 3 up there. But it is true we're not the only binary system in the world. For people who know about other network markets, there are plenty of binary systems out there, but what is unique is this. We have unlimited downline. There is no downline limit. So if you keep meeting new people, introducing them to Atomy products, building your left and your right, eventually you're going to discover other people who can see the Atomy vision, maybe like you've seen today, and they're going to come and ask to start the business with you. They're going to begin their own business, and more members will be attached to your downline. Don't let that scare you though, because if they're on your downline, their accumulated PV is going to flow through to you. They're going to be on your left or your right, and their points will still flow through to you. And as more and more people join your group, your downline is going to expand across countries globally. How many countries are we in? Who is listening today? 15, 14? And technically 15, let's not argue. And there's more countries coming, countries with very large populations. So your downline is going to expand across countries globally, and whatever purchases people in those countries make also becomes your PV. So these people are going to become your business partners and help one another to grow. Now, if there was a downline limit, let's say there was a cut-off at 50 levels, then after that 50 levels, you'd be less inclined to help those people succeed, because no matter what, there'd be no benefit for you. That's not the case with Atomy, because we have unlimited downline. Okay, you've already heard this point already, maybe several times. One unique trait about our compensation plan is that we don't have any registration fees, no auto ship, no termination, no exit fees. If there's any fee, it's going to be a hindrance to your business. Let's say there's a shopping mall which charges an entry fee compared to one that doesn't. Now that's already sounding a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? Whoever paid a fee to go to a shopping mall, which one's going to get more customers, do you think? The one without, of course. So let's have a think about how much registration fee actually matters. If Atomy required a fee to join when I wanted to purchase that first moisturiser, I wouldn't be here. Now I want you to raise your hand if that's also true for you. If you had to pay a fee to join Atomy, you wouldn't be here. Raise your hand right up high. Okay, now look around the room. Look at how many hands are up. A lot of hands. People with their hands up would not be here. They would not be in Atomy if they had to join a fee. So registration fee is really important. But if they're so bad, why do other companies have them then? The reason they have them is to pay matching bonuses and other quick incentives that help you sign members up. So for certain companies, there are packages you can select when you start the business. For example, there might be package A, where you get a matching bonus, or package B, where you have to pay $500, and that means you get another matching bonus and downline leverage, and already this is sounding very complicated to me. There's always a factor and a limit, and the problem with that is it makes you choose when you look at potential consumers. You think about, is this the best person to sign up? This member's not interested in business, I need someone else. It makes you filter and judge people. If you do it correctly, it might mean that you make quite a bit of money quickly, and that will help motivate you further, which is great. But in the end, it will be a hindrance. So the Atomy Compensation Plan allows regular people like you and me to succeed. And that's because the company and the compensation is designed to work that way. It's not an accident. Chairman Park envisaged this when he designed Atomy, when he started the company. This is the future that he saw. And when he started the business, he declared, if the product isn't good, we'll close the business tomorrow. But that tomorrow never happened. So now you understand what we're here for and why I should trust in our compensation plan. I'm going to share some numbers with you. And before we even look at the numbers, step one is that you need to be a consumer. It's the very first thing that you need to do to succeed. You then need to be moved by the product and find the motivation to share the product with someone else. By purchasing items with your own account, you're then going to accumulate personal PV, which is important, and we'll see why in a moment. Okay, so as mentioned before, we have the left leg and the right leg, and by introducing Atomy to more and more people, you're going to begin to lengthen your two legs. You're going to grow two groups of people, and bit by bit, those consumers are going to purchase products, and that purchase will slowly accumulate to your left and your right group PV. Okay, so we've got personal PV, which is any purchases you make on your personal account, things you buy for yourself, and then there's group PV, which accumulates from purchases that your downline consumers make. Okay, personal PV, we have 5 different types of dealership. You can see them listed there, from 10,000 all the way up to 2.4 million points. And then group PV, in our compensation plan, we calculate off the smaller leg PV. So we've got the left or the right, and if your right leg has 400,000 PV, for example, but your left leg only makes around 300,000, then we're going to calculate off the smaller leg. And by introducing Atomy to more and more people, you're going to increase that PV as your consumers buy products. And, for example, if we have personal PV of 15,000 and smaller leg group of 320,000, what grade are we going to get? We're going to get grade 8, grade score of 8, and we're going to earn overall commission of around $25 for that day. The next one there you can see is 300,000 personal and 300,000 group PV, which earns around $75 commission per day. And as you grow your business by purchasing products yourself and meeting new people, you're slowly going to go up and up the ladder, meeting requirements and achieving commission every day. And eventually, over time, you're going to create a really strong consumer base, as well as purchasing those items for your own consumption. And if you do the business correctly, it's going to lead you to earn close to 50 million on your smaller leg. And you can see by the time you reach that point, you're going to be earning $1,500 per day. Is that going to solve the income problem? Okay, one thing to note is that once you receive commission of any kind, your group PV is flushed out and is going to return to zero. However, your personal PV remains the same. It is never flushed. So once you get to 2.4 million points, you're never going to need to purchase another product. But we all know you're going to want to. When you buy Atomy products, you don't need to purchase a large amount. You just purchase as much as you need for your daily necessities. So shampoo, lotion, toothpaste, hand soap, whatever it is, as you're just purchasing the things that you need for your daily life, your points are going to accumulate without you realising almost. Okay, now there's a few more things regarding mastership and things like mastership bonuses, but as I said before, we're going to explain those next time. So a bit of encouragement to come back again. Or, as I said, you can talk to one of the leaders after the seminar. So by building your downline and building a strong consumer foundation, it's really important. 44% of total sales PV goes into general commission. It's our biggest form of income. And you can see up there on day one, you're going to receive commission. This is day one of the month. Your points flush out. On day two, same thing, receive PV, receive commission, points flush out. Day three the same, day four the same, etc. So every day without making an active sale, you earn commission. So remember, we started off over here at the active income. Over time with Atomy, you're going to be marching along towards that passive income lifestyle. Atomy Success System is unique. So some of the things we have to help you is we have an education centre where there's meetings each week. You can come along, meet new people and learn. We have one-day seminars like today, those are run every month. And we also have Success Academy where you can bring along new members. If you want to take back your life, please try the products. And if you think that even without the compensation plan, you want to use Atomy, please do the business. That's how you're going to find success. Thank you for listening.